2024, while operating a motor vehicle on a public roadway, defendant Jerome Roach failed to comply with a lawful order to stop issued by a commissioned federal police patrol officer. The officer was in a law enforcement patrol vehicle marked with agency logos prominently displayed, and the vehicle's emergency lights and siren were activated. While fleeing or attempting to evade law enforcement, Jerome Roach drove at high speeds in a reckless manner that demonstrated a willful disregard for the safety of persons and property. Roach was observed driving recklessly southbound on Highway 19 at Republic Road. He was arrested after fleeing the driver's seat of the vehicle at the end of a high-speed pursuit. During the pursuit, Roach eluded law enforcement officers who attempted to conduct a traffic stop with their lights and sirens activated. Roach struck at least one vehicle and continued to flee without stopping to render aid or exchange information, as required by Florida law. Upon exiting the vehicle, he fled on foot carrying a backpack and defied lawful orders to stop. While fleeing on foot, Roach assaulted two individuals and resisted law enforcement attempts to detain him, though he did not use violence toward officers. Roach's backpack had a strong odor of marijuana. Upon searching the backpack, officers found a medium-sized bag of marijuana, for small bags of pills, and other controlled substances.
Okay, you're gonna go with me. I'm gonna ask you a few questions.
Yes, sir.
Okay? I'll take care of you.
He's got blood. Put gloves on.
Okay, you have
I got him.
okay.
Put gloves on.
Give me a second.
You already know what I'm saying.
Chase ends in violent crash in Pico Union. Suspect wanted for armed robbery leads authorities on wild chase in Los Angeles. Los Angeles, California. October 31st, 2024. Two armed robbery suspects fled in a silver SUV as police pursued them for several miles before a violent crash in the Pico Union neighborhood. The silver SUV was speeding along surface streets, at times driving on the wrong side of the road. South Los Angeles, Harvard Heights, Pico Union. The driver was reckless, speeding and running red lights. In the Pico Union neighborhood, the driver was driving on the wrong side of the road and ran a red light. When the driver ran another red light, he crashed into a car at the intersection of James M. Wood Boulevard and Alvarado Street in Pico Union. The driver and passenger immediately opened their car doors and fled the scene.
Hey, I'm sorry about that. We kind of there she is. You just missed a really wicked crash. It was a pursuit. It was up here in the Pico Union area. There she is, good, climbing over a fence right there. Now that's an armed robbery suspect. LAPD, the helicopter up overhead, still calling out the locations. We're going to try to keep with it. Well, that's the end of that. Can't keep much with it. There you go. The officers, I didn't even know they were chasing the other ones. Look at them all, just coming out of nowhere. Now there was a crash at an intersection nearby, a major intersection. Those officers now running into this apartment building. That's where things get a little bit dangerous, not because we can't see it, but because you've got those hallways in there, you've got other people in that area as well. This could turn into a standoff. Let's get right back to where that crash was. There it is. We were following this vehicle. It was a pursuit. We thought for a little bit there that it was just a following that vehicle moving around very, very quickly. That silver Lexus, that with all the front end damage and the smoke, that is the suspect's vehicle, and it crashed into that innocent car right there. It was a hard T-bone right at that intersection. Hopefully those people are okay. The drivers was a hard T-bone right at that intersection. Hopefully those people are okay. The driver's side door is open. Now LAPD, you can see a couple of those units right there. They did run from their vehicles. Hopefully they took the keys, and of course officers from LAPD are making their way over to this location to secure.
They jumped fences and entered an apartment building near 8th Street and West Lake Avenue. Police surrounded the building while the suspects barricaded themselves inside. At around noon, the passenger was arrested. Police are still searching for the driver.
Violent, and I'm really hoping that that person inside that other car is okay. And that's one of the reasons why these pursuits, you know, we all know they're dangerous, people can get hurt, but these are reasons why the LAPD has those tactics that they do and those policies where they back off. But even when the officers backed off, that vehicle didn't slow down. That vehicle continued to drive very recklessly.
Los Angeles, California. A high-speed chase involving a wrong-way driver on Friday morning ended in a violent multi-vehicle crash on the 405 freeway in West Los Angeles, in one of the wildest pursuits to occur in a city known for its chases. Two people are in custody after a police chase in Los Angeles County ended with the driver jumping into an open window of a Linwood home. High-speed chase in Los Angeles ends in a multi-vehicle collision on the 405 freeway. Los Angeles, California. A high-speed chase involving a wrong-way driver on Friday morning, May 17, 2024, ended in a violent multi-vehicle crash on the 405 freeway in West Los Angeles, in one of the wildest pursuits to occur in a city known for its chases. Officials with the Los Angeles Police Department said they responded to a radio call around 4:22 a.m. about a woman getting into a patrol car at 4th Street and Rose Avenue in Venice. The chase began shortly before 4:50 a.m. after the suspect refused to stop. The two officers involved in the initial incident were transported to an area hospital in stable condition. The chase continued on the northbound lanes of Interstate 405. The suspect was driving erratically in an attempt to evade officers. During the pursuit, officers attempted several pit maneuvers to stop the suspect before the morning rush hour. While trying to evade authorities, the chase took a dangerous turn when the suspect made a U-turn and began driving in the wrong direction. A short time later, the suspect crashed at full speed into multiple vehicles near the Wilshire Boulevard exit. After the incident, the suspect got out of the car and climbed onto the top of the truck before she was eventually taken into custody. She appears to have suffered some head injuries in the collision. The man who was hit head-on in a silver sedan was trapped in his car until officers broke his window and rescued him. The accident victim, identified as Rudolph, told reporters at the scene that he was blessed and grateful to be alive. A man who was injured head-on in a head-on crash told reporters he was blessed and was grateful to be alive. Another crash victim, who was driving a black Volkswagen Golf GTI, said the driver's side of the suspect's car was pinned to his car. It is unclear how many vehicles are involved in this phase of the investigation. However, it appears that the accident victims were triaged at the scene and did not require hospitalization. The northbound lanes of the highway were affected for hours. Investigators marked the location as a crime scene and covered the area. Aerial photos showed that traffic was backed up for miles. All lanes were reopened by 9:30 a.m. 2 people are in custody after a police chase in Los Angeles County ended with the driver jumping into an open window of a Linwood home. Sunday evening, Los Angeles, California. May 5, 2024 at. The chase broke out sometime before 7:30 p.m. The driver was driving a black SUV northbound on Highway 110. The driver then turned west on Highway 105 before getting off the highway in the Linwood area. After a while, the car stopped. The driver ran from the car into an alley. After jumping the wall, the driver found an open window and climbed through it into the house. Minutes later, officers appeared to take another person into custody. The police continued to search for the driver. Residents gathered as officers searched for the other suspect. Minutes later, the police arrested the man. Officers shot out the back window of the parked SUV to evaluate the vehicle. Ultimately, officers arrested 3 people. Los Angeles police announced Sunday night that the driver was suspected of driving under the influence.